Hello and welcome to video number 3 in our Power User series. I truly hope that in the first 2 videos you've found at least a couple of things that you've thought were helpful, useful, that would make your work a little more efficient and effective. Hopefully you've actually found more than a couple, but I'm just happy if somebody has found some things that are helpful. However, if you feel like you haven't found the right tool yet, this is the video right here. I'm going to show you my favorite tools, the things that I use the most to make my work go faster. Now, being a power user is not always about working faster. Sometimes it's about working better, doing things in a better, more systematic way. We've talked about that at other places a little bit. We're really going to talk about that in our last video. But today, it really is about how can I speed up some of the processes that I do over and over. There has to be a better way, and there is. So we will talk about that today. Before we get started, I'm not going to review all 3 of our overview comments. We've done that in our first couple of videos, but I will pick one of those. And that is that many tools that are extremely useful take a learning curve and take some time to get it set up exactly the way you want. That's never more true than for the things we're going to look at today. Now, needing a learning curve doesn't mean it's hard to learn. It just means it takes a while. There's different pieces to figure out. And it also means that it takes time to teach it to do the things that you want it to do. These are tools where you have to give it some information and then it can give back to you. So it takes a little bit of time to do that. I've been using these tools for 3-4 years. I'm still tweaking them to help them work better for me. So it's an ongoing process. It's totally worth it. The other thing we've talked about, some of the things we looked at last time were things that you would have to pay for. But I said, don't worry about that. For almost every person, you're going to be happy with the free version. You're not going to need to pay, so don't worry. Today we're going to change that. Most of the things I'm going to show you today, I would recommend you pay for. I will show you the free versions, but you're going to get so much more if you pay. And we'll talk about how much it's going to cost and ways to save that money. But yeah, I do pull out my credit card once a year and buy a couple of things that I know are going to make my day easier. And I think you might find it worth it as well. So that being said, let's jump into the 2 things that we're going to talk about today. Just 2 things. So every tool that I show you will be doing one of those 2 things. So let's get started. All right, the first of the 2 things that we want to talk about today, text expanders. And text expanders do exactly what the name implies. It takes text and expands it. It lets you put in a little bit of text, but it actually types a lot of text. And the best way to show you, or actually the best way to explain it to you, is to show you. So let me show you. I've got 3 different text expanders installed on my computer at the moment, just so I can demonstrate different programs for you today. But they're all going to work pretty much the same. So let me just give you some examples. My first example is going to be, I'm typing an email. I got to sign my name, zname, and get into my document, zname, and it will insert my name for me. Now I know my name plus the space in between, only 11 characters. Zname was 5. Didn't save me a lot. But what if I type zsig? Gives me my whole signature. I only had to type 4 characters to get to that. That's pretty cool. And when I have to sign emails over and over, that's great. If I need to put my title at the end of documents, that's great. And where do I use these things the most? Mostly in email, but also in documents. It's a very powerful tool. Let's take it a little bit further, because I also do all the social media updates for the program. They all get hashtags at the end. Z, hash. There's the hashtags that go into our Facebook and our Twitter. And I don't have to type all that out every time. It can be more. For example, every day, someone tries to access our daily staff attendant using their personal Google account. And every day, I would type out an explanation to them explaining why they couldn't see it through their personal account why they needed to use their correct account. That's a lot of typing every day, sometimes several times a day. So I shorten that up. Z attend for attendance. It pops up and lets me customize to say, Timmy, I received a request from your personal Google account for access to staff attendance. Not going to do that. Open your correct Google account and you can see it. Done. And it will put in that whole paragraph for me. So I can write entire emails just by writing zattend and the person's name. That lets me customize it. Wouldn't even have to customize it. That's just a little piece I throw in to be nice. But you can see how much time that could save me if I had to do that several times a day. If I'm working on an email or a document and I need to add the date, I can just type zdate. It'll automatically put in whatever the current date is. I can do the same thing if I even need to make it about the time. I can do ztime, so you know what time I did this document. There are so many shortcuts I can use, and it always allows me the opportunity to customize it, to do pop-ups. For example, if there's a para in a classroom and I haven't been able to get in contact with them, they've had trouble with their password, sometimes I will use the teacher as the go-between. So I may have to say Z for pass, and it will say, can you please let him or her know, and I can choose which one it is, that their new password for email and units is going to be password. Yep, I want it to be uppercase because it's an uppercase. Well, let's make that match. So let's say I said correct password. All right. They must use the uppercase C and the exclamation mark. Okay. And again, it let me choose the proper pronoun. It let me insert the password that I wanted to insert. It gives them all of the instructions. I did not have to type very much to make that happen. Now, you may be wondering, what is this zsig, zhash, zdate? What are these things I'm typing in? These are the triggers. It tells the program that I'm using, which is called Text Expander, it tells that program, what do I want you to type? I've had to go in ahead of time and tell Text Expander all of those things. So let me show you Text Expander. You can see I use it for personal stuff. It will suggest snippets based on things that I frequently type if I have it turned on. It used to suggest so many things that I stopped for a while. But you can see these are the things that I use a lot, so much so that I've had to create little shortcuts for them. And let's find that one that I did before, the Z for pass. I can put in, I want it to give me a pop-up. I want it to give me an option to put in the password. It's called a tutorial option, but the key for it is Z for pass. Now, every one of these starts with the letter Z. I made that up because not many things start with Z, so that's an easy letter to trigger the software and say, what's coming is probably a prompt for you. Z for pass is not a thing I would ever type without spaces or whatever. It can only be a trigger for Text Expander, and it triggers this. It's easy to create more. I can just say, become a power user, and label is going to be power user promo, and it's going to be ZPU. And you can see it's already in my list over here. It's ready to go. If I go into my document, let's see if it's already circulated through the system. ZPU, become a power user. It is there. And part of what's great about Text Expander is it's not just there on this computer. Once I buy this program and install it, it's connected to my laptop, my home computer. This is my software. I own it. It is doing this for me wherever I sit down to type. So it's a very powerful piece of software. I won't lie to you. It's also a pretty expensive piece of software. I pay $39.96 per year to have this software. It's pretty expensive, but it is a massive time saver. There are some other options. Let me show you a couple of other options. They're all going to work the same. One that's called Text Blaze. Instead of starting with Z's, these start with backslash email. I could do backslash hashtags. Come on, get it in there for me. There we go. TextBlaze works the same, except it's not an application that I download onto my computer. TextBlaze is web-based. If I come up here to the top and click on the tab, here is my TextBlaze page. It's letting me create my work samples. And you can see I've only put in a couple of snippets because this is not the one I really use. I'm just doing this to show you options. But again, it's dynamic. I can have it insert the current date so that anytime I type my name, I could say, put the current date in there or put the time that I wrote this document. And then anytime I do hashtag email, it should now, let me get it right. It's not hashtag, it's /email. And it puts the name right in there. And that's exactly what time it is as we're recording this. So it can be dynamic. It can be really precise, a powerful tool. At the end, I'm going to show you a third option that does the same thing. We'll talk about that one a little bit separately, and there'll be a reason for that at the end. I want you to know that TextBlaze is also expensive. It is $36 per year. But TextBlaze might be the place where you want to begin trying text expansion, and that's because TextBlaze has a free option. And that's what you're looking at right now. I don't pay for TextBlaze. I'm using the free option. The limit with the free option is that I believe you can only create like 10 or 15 snippets. You can't create a lot. But when you're just beginning, there may only be a few things that you want. You may have a few email phrases or a few emails or a few blocks of text that you find yourself typing over and over and over. Create some snippets for those. Give it a try. Get used to using the trigger words. You'll find yourself using them more and more, customizing it more and more. At some point, you may realize, I don't use these hashtags anymore. So you can delete that, throw it in the trash down here in the lower right, create a new snippet. Maybe 10 or 12 or however many it gives you is all you need. And so you can start with TextBlaze if you realize that you love this and that it is saving you time, but you need more than 10 or 12 or 15 or however many snippets, then you can invest the money to pay. So that's Text Expander and TextBlaze. Both of them are text expander applications. This is great software from time saving, but we still haven't made it to my favorite yet. My favorite will show you how to save a little money on these, so stick with me to the end of this video. The second tool we want to talk about today is a Clipboard Manager. Now, we all know what a clipboard does on our computer. It allows us to copy text in one place and paste it in another. So I could select Clipboard Managers. I could copy it by pulling down the Edit menu and choosing Copy here. Or I could hit the Command-C command, and that would allow me to copy it as well. So I'll copy it. Then I select a new place, and I can again use the Edit menu or hit Command-V to paste it. That's what a clipboard does. It lets us copy text from one place, put it in a new place. So what does a Clipboard Manager do? Well, let me illustrate. Let's say I want to go to last week's notes, and I want to highlight just the key points of the curation tools we talked about. So I could highlight bookmarks and paste it over here, and then I could come back and highlight Google Keep and paste it over here, and then I could highlight OneNote that we talked about and paste that over here, and lastly I can scroll down and grab Evernote that we talked about and paste it, and there we're done. That would be doing it the old way. The Clipboard Manager lets me do it this way. I can come over here and I will copy, 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 and then come here and I will paste them. Bookmarks, Google Keep, OneNote, and Evernote. Oh, should have hit a return in there. So there, without having to go back and forth, I can bring all of my text over at one time. Copy, 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 paste, paste, paste. And let's say I get distracted and somewhere along the way I have copied 10 other things in the day. I've copied this paragraph here, and I've copied, oh, this thing about text expanders here. I've done all those things. Doesn't matter. I can go back to my Clipboard Manager and go back, and all the things that I copied about Google Keep, Evernote, bookmarks, and OneNote, they're all still there for me. Things that I copied earlier in the day, things that I copied yesterday. It will save images for me that I copied. All the things that I've been copying and pasting for days, it will save for me, and I can go back and grab them when I need them. That's the beauty of a Clipboard Manager. It saves so much time. I want to show you a thing that I have to do so often in managing our school messenger. School messenger is where we send out automated messages to people, and it works by sending things to lists, lots and lots and lots of lists. And these lists have lots and lots and lots of names and phone numbers and email addresses. Well, every time we get an update, I'm going to use this test group so I don't really change a list. Every time we get an update from a school district that they have a new secretary that we have to call if we have a snow day, every time a transportation company or a bus company changes a contact, every time a family updates their email or their phone number, every time we bring in a new student, I'm constantly going in and changing these lists. And the lists show up to me as spreadsheets. I have spreadsheets with names and phone numbers and emails, and these are all fake, but I just wanted you to have an example. This is what the LEA list looks like, and it's also what the families look like, and it's what the transportation companies look like. And I would have to either copy or remember and write each of these things. So I could copy, if I want to enter a new contact, I could obviously copy Jennifer and come over and paste Jennifer in the first name, and then Wiley and come over and paste, but you know what I'm going to show you. Copy, 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 copy. Jump into School Messenger, Jennifer, Wiley, phone number, and email address, and done. Just that quick. And there are some errors because these are fake phone numbers and emails that I put in there, so it's not going to like those. That's an invalid number because they're made up. But that's how quickly I can take information from a spreadsheet and move it somewhere else. And this is not going to be a relevant thing for everyone. Not everyone does this much moving of data around. But if you have to copy and paste things from one place to another, if you are keeping track of PowerSchool or spreadsheets or School Messenger or list of absentees or whatever you're keeping a track of, if you've got lots of lists and lots of information, a Clipboard Manager is so valuable for you. So, where do you find Clipboard Managers? In the handout, there will be several links where you will find things that range from free Clipboard Managers that you can download to one that's $8, and there's a free trial if you want to give it a try. Another one's $14 with a free trial if you want to give it a try. You will see listed in the handout, some of them have extra features that will allow you to include, copying and pasting of graphics. Some will only do text. Some will let you copy something. Let's say I copy this to paste it. It'll let you copy and paste it just like it is. Some will only paste it without the bold. They won't carry any of the formatting. Some of them only work on the computer where you install it. So if you buy this Clipboard Manager or download it on your work computer, it's not going to work on your work laptop. You would have to download it and set it up again and even pay for it again. Some of them, in the earlier video, we talked about using spaces where you flip from one screen to the other. Some of them only work on the space where they are installed, so they don't work on all of your spaces, which can be very frustrating. So you will see that there will be different ones. I've got one installed right now called Copy Clip 2. This is the one that would cost you $8. It does have a free trial, and it has just a pull down menu from the top of the screen. So I'm going to clip, you'll see the menu pop down in what we're recording here. So you can see the things that we just copied and pasted. They're there. I can click on them and it will insert the information there. I had that Jennifer Wiley, so I could insert Jennifer and insert Wiley. So I can insert the information. Some of them have like a command and a number in front of them. That should be a keyboard shortcut. You could hit Command 1 and it would insert the name here. What I'm going to tell you is some of these commands are already reserved by your operating system. So for example, if I wanted to hit Command 5 and insert the phone number, it would not do that. What it would do is it would actually open up the 5th tab in my Chrome browser. So that would be, well, my email tab there. So the commands that it offers you are not always going to work. And these are not that carefully designed to work with the Macintosh. But that is what a Clipboard Manager does. And in our last little bit of video, I will show you the Clipboard Manager that I think you should use, the one that I use, and the one that is going to be the best tool, my favorite tool, and I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, I keep promising you something special. It's time for me to deliver. We have talked about text expanders and clipboard managers. And if you will remember with text expanders, the ones that I talked about, unless you use the free version, we were looking at $39, $40 every year to buy that software. With the clipboard managers, there were some free ones that have some limited capability. Some others that were running $8 to $15 one-time purchase. So if you wanted to buy Text Expander and Copy Clip, you would be spending between $50 and $60 this year, right now. And then every year going forward to maintain Text Expander, you would be spending an additional $40. And I told you I could save you some money. And the way I'm going to save you money is I'm going to tell you there is one program that does it all now. And that one program will give you a choice. You can pay $40 right now. It will install on 2 computers for you. So it's on my work computer and my work laptop. And that $40 is forever. That's it. So what you would pay in 1 year of Text Expander, you can get forever with this. Or I can spend $66, which is what I would spend for a Text Expander plus a Clipboard Manager. Well, okay, maybe an extra $10, but that's $66. That's for me on all of my computers that I own. And it's not just to use this version forever, but it is to get lifetime updates forever with this program. So what I want to introduce you to is Alfred for the Mac. It is only made for the Mac. It has been around for years. They do slow updates, and that's just fine because it is really great the way it is. If you go out and purchase it right now, you will be buying Alfred 4 for the Mac. What I'm using right now, what I'm showing you today, is Alfred 3. I haven't updated yet, but I will soon. Now, you can download Alfred 4 for the Mac, the white button here, and it is free. And it will do a lot of things for you. But I am going to tell you, buy the Power Pack. That's the one it's in pounds. So when you convert pounds to dollars, it's $39.51 to get one user for version 4, $66.75 one person, all your computers forever. So Alfred for Mac, it does text expansion. So when I want to expand, it puts it in there for me. And when I was showing you Clipboard Manager, the one that I use, this is Alfred. It has all of my clips going way back there, and I love it. I want to open up Alfred for you because I don't want you to think that it's just a Clipboard Manager. because it also does file searching for you. It does web searching for you. It's a calculator. It's a dictionary. It is your Clipboard Manager. It does have snippets for your text expansion. You can even use it to run your iTunes. I can connect it to my password manager. It has so much power. I have never even used all of the features. I basically use it for file searching, web searching, calculator, dictionary, clipboard, and snippets. So those 6 things. But there is so much you can do, so many advanced features. I bought mine 3 years ago, February 2019. I've used it 7,526 times during that time, and every time I've used it, it was saving me time. So let's look at some of those things that it does. I just showed you the text expander. I've shown you the Clipboard Manager. I also mentioned other things. So if I just hit Option Space on my keyboard, it brings up this search box, and this will allow me to search for anything that I want. So let's say I want to search for new iPads, and it will take me to, do I want to search for it on Google, Amazon, or in Wikipedia? So it will manage my web search for me. If I want to search for autism, well, it brings us to one of our sites, but it would do more than that. If I clicked on it, it would just take me to study autism. I can say define autism, and it will link me to definitions of autism. If I just need to do some math, 4 times 6, and there's my answer. I can do 25 divided by 7, there's my answer. If I really need to open my calculator, it's also an application launcher. I just start to type calculator. There it is. I click on it and my calculator opens. So when I need to open something, I don't go and search for it in my applications folder. I just pop this open. If I could spell Word correctly, Microsoft Word, and there you go. It also is linking me to things that might be related to Word if I start to search for that. So it is a great search tool. It's a great application launcher. It is a calculator. It just does so much for me. And it always saves me time by doing that. I am always just hitting the same set of keys. Option space lets me search the web. Option space and then hit the space bar again means that I'm specifically looking for a file on my computer. So if I start looking for power users, I've got my course logo. Here's the Power Users 3 folder for what I'm recording right now in Power Users. My Power Users 1 and 2 aren't showing up because I've already moved those onto a backup disk, so that's why they're not here. But this would take me right to that folder, and I can open it from where I am, get to the things that I've been recording. It is so powerful. I don't have to search for files by opening my computer and searching through my documents folder. No. Alfred, he's your little butler. He's the one that does it all. So there will be a link in the handout that will take you directly to this site. Yes, download Alfred 4 first and play with it a little bit, but you won't be able to do all the things. It will let you search and browse. It's going to limit you on some of the snippets. It's not going to let you do all the things that you want to do. So you're going to have to get to the premium, the power pack. You'll see the little blue stars below. Those are the things where you will need the power pack to do it. And you'll see that includes snippet expansion, clipboard history, the things that we've really talked about here. You will still be able to calculate things, find your applications and files and launch those, search the web, do your definitions. You'll be able to do those simple things with the free version. That will give you a feel for it. And then I encourage you, if you're going to pay money on anything, this is the thing to pay money for. This is an amazing time saver. All right, we have talked about text expanders in this video and how that can save you time. We have talked about clipboard managers and how that can save you time. And we've talked about Alfred, which brings it all together and save you a lot of time. So this video was really just about tools that will help you save time. And that's a good thing for all of us. So I encourage you to give these a try. Text expanders, clipboard managers, and Alfred. Time-saving tools for you to become a power user.